today what we are going to start discuss is NMCLI, right? So network management command line interface, you can say it. So the package name is Network Manager. So Network Manager is the daemon that monitors and manages the network settings. Okay, one important thing is that before Network Manager, right, we had tools like ifconfig, which used to manage our networking services, right? So one more thing that is important is that in Linux, most of the configuration that you do by using a command or by your graphical user interface, these configurations go into files, right? So earlier, we used to have our network configuration files in this folder, right? So this was the folder in which we used to have our all the network configurations that were there. But now if you will go here, you will simply find this kind of a file over here. So I will just open it using less. So it says that if you will read this file, it says that Network Manager stores new network profiles in the key file format in this particular folder. Previously, Network Manager stored network profiles in the ifcfg format in this directory. However, the ifcfg format is deprecated. By default, Network Manager no longer creates new profiles in this format. Okay. So idea is that now the ifcfg format is not there. We have a key file format, and the files are now stored in this particular location. So this thing has changed. And I think this thing has changed after RHEL 7. So talking about Network Manager, you can, for any service, we can simply go here and we can check the status of Network Manager. So you can find it, it's enabled and it's active and running. You can run all kinds of commands like stop, enable, disable. So I am not running these commands, but like stop is there, enable. So this is for any services, right? If you want to start it, you just simply start it if it is not started. So normally on your systems, you will always find Network Manager is running. Similarly, there is a network service also. Right? So right now you can see this service is no longer there. This service is stopped, kind of a thing. We are just using Network Manager and we are not relying on this particular service. So there would have been a time when we would be using network service, but now Network Manager is the tool that we normally use. Okay, network service is no longer required for this, and as we have seen, the path for Network Manager's files that it keeps is in the etc Network Manager system connections directory, right? So we are not going to start network service. We don't need to start it. If I will just simply go here and write this thing, ls etc Network Manager system connections, right? So you will find all these files are there. So let me just put it like ls-ltr, right? So these are the different files that are storing our network connections. Coming on to the part, so next part is that, okay, but another tool that Network Manager provides you is the NMTUI, right? So NMTUI is a tool that provides you a text UI. So this is not a graphical user interface, it's a textual user interface. You can use this interface using your keyboard, basically, right? And from here also you can manage your connections. So if you want to edit a connection, you can go here. All these connections will be shown. I can select one of them and click on edit. And if I want to do any configuration changes, I can do it. I think we saw this earlier also. Okay, so again, back, if you want to activate or deactivate a connection, you can do that. So right now these connections are active. This connection is active, right? So if I want to deactivate, I can deactivate from here. And if I want to activate it, I can. Again, this is also active. This is not active. So if I want to activate, I can go here and click on activate. Okay. I will come back to this in a while. If I don't want to, you can even set your host name from here if you want. Even that is possible. And if you want to quit, you can simply quit. Okay. So this is your one tool. So normally in interviews, people can ask you, how will you change your IP address? So you can definitely go with this particular NMTUI command. Okay. So most of the things that we want to do, we can do using NMTUI also. Here you don't have to remember the syntax, etc. It's kind of a similar thing that you do for any user interface. You can do from here. But NMCLI is another tool that is there. So if I were to do man NMCLI, right, you can see is the command line in tool for controlling the network manager. Okay. Now this particular tool, why it is so good is, I will just show you using a keyboard maybe. So basically, if I will write NMCLI over here, and I will simply go here and do a double tab, right? You see all the options are shown here. So with all these CLI commands, we don't really need to remember everything, right? Even if we just want to remember, we just have a slight idea of what we are doing, we can easily navigate and find our complete command. So I will write C and tab, right? And again, I will do a double tap. So it says NMCLI connection. I can add, I can clone, I can delete, I can edit, I can take help, I can load, migrate, etc., etc. I can also show. So I will write S and then tab. Again, I can do a double tab or I can simply press enter. So now it shows me all the connections I have on my system. Now with Network Manager, what we do is, earlier when we used to use ifconfig format, our connection and our device were kind of same thing, right? So we did not differentiate between a device and a connection. But with a Network Manager, we differentiate between the device and the connection. Okay. So if I were to just list the devices, so I will do like this. Here I will click on device and I will go show. So so you can see my computer is saying that on my system I have got 4 devices: ENP0S3, ENP0S8, help, and IO. Now I am using a virtual machine. That is why I'm seeing these names. If you're using a physical machine, you might see a different name also. Loopback is loopback. Help is just for taking help. ENP0S8 is one device. ENP0S3 is one device. So if I will write something like, okay, show only, and then I can choose S3, for example, and then I will give less after this so that I can show you from the beginning. So it shows that this is a device, its type is Ethernet, its the hardware address is this, IP address configuration is this, DNS configuration is this, and so on, right? Similarly, I can go for 8. So I can see all this information for 8 also. Okay, you can see there is less information over here because this is manually configured and we had not given so many things to this configuration. Okay, but connections are different, right? So it says this is a connection, new is a connection, and it is using this device. ENP0S8 is a connection, it is using this device. ENP0S3 is also a connection, and it is using no device. Now suppose I want to bring this connection up, right? Then what I will do is I will write not NM tab, double tab. It will say connection, tab, double tab. I will say up, okay, U, tab, and I wanted to bring this connection up, right? So I will do ENP tab S3, right? Not Q, but enter. So this connection actually activated, right? So if I will just do this now you see what happened. This new connection became deactivated. This connection became activated. Now why? Because my new connection is also using the same device. Okay. And this particular connection is also using the same device. So you can practically create multiple connections on the same device itself. Okay, and you can simply enable, disable them as per your choice. Now, why would you need them? I'm just thinking hypothetically that there are cases where you have to move your machine from one place to another and you are part of different networks. In those cases, you can do it, or maybe otherwise. Or maybe whenever you have to edit a connection, you simply don't make changes to the original configuration. You keep it as it is, make the new connection, whatever configuration you want to do, and simply enable it. If you want to roll back, you can simply roll back to your old connection. So this is it. Now, the same way, if you want to change IP address settings, you can also do it. Just give me 1 second. Okay. So we have seen pilk of command. Even you can write NMCLI help. So it will again show you all the proper possible things you can do, like NMCLI general status. Right, so it says connected, full, Wi-Fi hardware is missing, Wi-Fi is enabled, WWAN is enabled, and something like that. Similarly, so we can just take a device status. It is saying that this is device, both are connected, and the connection name here is this one. Okay. Similarly, all the possible commands are there. You can always do a lot of. I have shown you up and down. Similarly, you can disconnect a device also if you want. Yeah. Now, suppose if you want to modify something, right? So I am writing NMCLI. I will do a double tab. Fine. I want to add a connection. So I will say C tab. I will say A, add, right? And then it says there are so many options, but I know now it's a place where if you will type so many options, you can get into trouble. So I will say T by type. Again, I will do it. It says all these types of connection you can add. I want to add a simple Ethernet connection. So I will write ETH, and then I will do a tab. And then I have to give a connection name. So I am able to see this. So this CN name, right? So dash and N and tab. And now you can give whatever connection name you want to give, right? So maybe I can just give 11AG25. So this is just my will. This is my name. Now I have to specify, I don't know. So again, this won't work. So this you have to remember. I have to also mention the interface name. So maybe ENP0S3, right? So let me just check one thing. So I will just press home and so I'm just giving this line here so that this command doesn't fire. So I am just writing it. It simply says no such command. So because I had written the entire syntax, but I did not want to execute this command right now, I simply put something in the beginning so that my command doesn't run. But since I have pressed enter, when I will press the up arrow key, I will be able to see the entire thing. Okay. So what I want to check is I want to see which connection is what, right? So I want to see this connection. So this is the connection that I have made manually. So rather than ENP0S8, I want to see the connection show. I want to see the ENP0S3. Yeah. So this was the connection now. Fine. So I will, instead of using interface name like this, I will use this interface, right? My bad. I will just remove it now. Right. So now NMCLI show connection show. So now I have got these connections. If I want to make this connection up, I can do that. right? So this is how I will do it. I can even specify the IP addresses to it. So first of all, let's try to do it. So NMCLI connection. So it says modify, and here I will simply give the connection name. Okay, now I can simply do it from here. Okay, and now I just have to get IP4. So earlier it was 10.0.0.1. I will try to change it to 10.0.0.10, and I will slash 8, and that's it, right? And now what I will do is connection up. So now we are this, right? So now we have got these two connections. Okay. So anyways, these are the commands that you can run. You can find these commands. What I will recommend you for the interview part is that at least remember one of these commands, right? So this entire command, just remember this. If you will see the syntax, it's very simple. When you are working on the system, so you can always use tab and double tap to exactly find the syntax. But for the interview purpose, at least remember one of these syntax. And the last thing that I want to show you is this particular folder, right? So when I go to CD, etc, network manager, and system connections, you will find all these files to be here. So if I will open this 11 August file, I can even change here things over here. Okay. You can see all whatever we did is coming here. I can even go here and change this IP from this side. Okay, but now I have to restart my service. Right, so now I'm restarting it. If it is restarted, and I will do IPADDR, so I should be able to find this 20 thing over here.
Yes.
Okay, so yes. I can even make these changes from this file also. So this is the place where you find all your files of any connection that you have. So this is showing auto, right? Auto means that it is for DHCP. Finally, I think IP root command, etc. we had seen. So I don't think anything else is remaining. Modify assign DNS address. So simply ip4.dns. Normally, you people won't ask you too many things, but say for DNS, the keyword is IPv4 and .dns. Similarly, for gateway, it is IPv4.gateway and so on. So all these things are mentioned in the presentation. Check them, and that's about it. Host name, I think we have already discussed. There is one more thing. Okay, yeah. So this is important. So in terms of networking, we have a file in Linux that is called etc hosts. So we have all read about DNS, right? We have also said that DNS is used by our system to resolve the host names, right? But the point is that DNS is only possible when it is a public DNS, or you have to create your own local DNS in the organization and then use it. Now, one of the key workarounds, and not even a workarounds, so at certain point we demand these things, right? There's a file called etc host. Okay, in this particular file, we can make entries like this. So whenever we are trying to connect to a machine using the host name, the first thing that our system checks is this particular file. If it will find a matching IP over here, it will not do a DNS query. It will not try to resolve that particular IP. It will simply pick that IP from here. So it is a very common practice in local area networks when you have devices talking to each other, that we make entries in this particular file. It has got multiple advantages. One advantage is that it's very fast. You don't have to rely on any resolution kind of a thing. And simply you can use host names without really configuring anything on the DNS side. Okay. If there is no entry over here, only then the request will go to our DNS servers. Right. And there is one more file that we commonly use that is called Resolv.conf. In this particular file, basically we write our name server IP addresses. So if name server is nothing but DNS server IP addresses. So by default, this particular IP address is given to me by DHCP. It is entered over here. This might be the IPv6 for the same. Okay. So if you want to configure another DNS server IP, you simply will do a copy of this line and make an entry over here. Okay, that's about it.
Okay,
so you can even do
man.
Come on not. Yeah, so this is Resolv.conf. The resolver is the set of routines in the this. So name server. So I am just doing a man for this, right? So internet address of the name server that resolver should query. So you can just write either IPv6 or IPv4. Okay. So this is about it.